This is Sanaya Irani Zohrabi, who is currently working as a creative producer at RSVP Movies, and she has studied film and business studies at the University of Warwick. And so, Sanaya, what was your experience studying a BA in film studies and business studies?
Thank you, Johan. Hi, everyone. So yes, I did study film and business studies, which is a different, I wouldn't say odd or unique, but a different combination to what most people study. I think most courses are, or most choice of courses are rather more focused in terms of, say, just the arts or, the sciences or the commerce or whatever it is that someone chooses to study. So I did study film and business. I did study at a university where both courses are ranked by subject area of media and film studies or business studies very high. So for film studies, Warwick has, almost stayed number one, if not in the top three. And for business studies, again, it's been in the top five. So I did have the opportunity to study at a university that, excels when it comes to these two courses. And it's got very high satisfaction in terms of the course, in terms of the teaching, but most importantly, and I don't think people, look at this as much before applying, it's got a great teacher to student ratio, which is so important when you go to university. Because when you go to university, you are specializing, or rather you're focusing on your interest or on something you're very, passionate about further pursuing as your studies. And you do want the time and, the attention in terms of getting your queries answered or diving deeper into the subject matter with your tutors and with your professors. So when that ratio is a lot lower, and when there are fewer students to a professor who are so busy, you're going to get a lot more attention and be able to, explore or research further or work even deeper on so many aspects of your course. So that's something that was important, and I think is a great factor to consider when you're applying to university and your course. And just overall, the University of Warwick, has academics are at the head in so many fields, and that was such an exciting factor for me because I was being taught by professors who'd written books that I was reading from or studying from, or that had case studies that I was referring to. So I was almost being, I was getting, it was exciting. It was like a fangirl moment a lot of the times where I'd enter a classroom and I'd realize, oh my God, my professor's written that book that was absolutely amazing, or taught me so much more about an area that I had, very little understanding about. So yeah, and lastly, just to say that of course business studies are a lot more common in terms of a course that people know about, read about, can speak about to other people. But in terms of film, my course basically covered the foundations of film and television history, analysis and interpretation, and theory, which is so important. So of course you get a lot of the practical experience on the job, and you get the best practical experience not just doing a short film or practicing the filmmaking process at university, but more so at a job when it's when you're on a big budget or a feature film that's being made. You see high-end equipment, you get to work with some unbelievable talent. So for me, the theory is so important, and I don't think enough people realize that, especially with the arts. And yeah, so that was, besides, of course, the studies, the University of Warwick was absolutely, I would say so far, the best 3 years of my life, of everything it had to offer: sports, societies, all the fun in terms of, the students, the activities. It was a great experience.
I think that's great to hear, Sanaya. And so, what skills should students interested in the entertainment industry develop and possess?
So this is a really important question, and thank you for asking it. And I also did a lot of thinking before I really wanted to answer this question. And I've sort of I want to approach it in terms of my belief, given my experiences and exposure with the industry. So I believe a study of the foundations of film and television is really important. And that's for anyone and everyone who wants to work in the industry. So, a study of the foundations to begin with. And then for me, the second part that is really important is then a study of the specific aspect of the industry that you're interested in or that you want to work in, right? So I don't think there is one broad course or one broad video or one broad understanding that one needs. I think one needs to first understand the foundations and then move into a specification. And what I also believe is very helpful is to bridge those two by an internship or work experience in between. So you start off with the foundations where you understand what the entertainment industry is all about. You understand the film and television industry. And then you take on an internship. Now, this internship does not have to be the area or the specification that you're going to do for the rest of your life, right? If anything, it might also tell you what you don't want to do. And I think that is the most amazing part to internships is you get to know what you should not, or what you don't want to do or what you're not going to do for the rest of your life. Also important to say, I think once you lay out those foundations and you really get this understanding and you study those foundations, you can always have the freedom to move to other specifications and areas, which you should have the flexibility to do. Like, why should I start off saying, okay, I'm going to assist or rather intern in the direction team, and oh my God, I got to be a director now for the rest of my life. No, you might find costume department going down the line more interesting, or you might want to switch to production design. So you might want to explore, you might want to have fun with, you might want to just, spend the rest of your career doing different things. You have to have that flexibility. Um, and then lastly, what I think is the final stage, which is the never ending phase, which is constant work, learning and unlearning. And that is so important. And I think the word unlearning is seen with a very negative connotation, but one should not. Because unlearning is just understanding how the world is ever evolving and ever changing, and we've got to change with times. So there's a lot of old technology that we no longer use, and hence you have to unlearn the ways things were done and relearn the new ways, and sometimes more efficient, sometimes faster, sometimes just more progressive ways to work with the medium. And another very important part of unlearning is also understanding pop culture and understanding our revolution of understanding, gender, of understanding sex, of understanding love, of understanding so many other things that are involved and important in this industry. And our concepts and our depiction of those and our interpretation of those. So that has to evolve too in your process. Yeah.
All right. So, Sanaya, what are the career opportunities for people involved in entertainment?
Sure. So again, great question. And I think this answer is a very exciting answer for everyone looking, to enter the industry, because there are countless opportunities. And I think now with digital content, there is no dearth of opportunity in terms of multiple departments, multiple teams that it takes to make any film or television show. So, right from your development team, which is your writer's room, to your direction team, to your production team that's running the show. And I, being a producer, can say, we're always looking for people. We're always looking for passionate, determined, dedicated people who want to, make a great film, make a great TV series with us. But then, of course, you've got costume design, you've got production design, you've got hair makeup, you've got the more technical aspects of camera, lights. There are so many departments, every one of which, I have so much respect for, every one of which is so important in the making of a film. And there's so much opportunity today, and very important to say, it's paid opportunity. So it's opportunity where you, yes, should get paid. And every one of these teams and departments always require interns or assistants. So you can start at a junior level, and with more experience, you can just garner more skills, garner more insight, garner more exposure, and grow and develop your skills further and only get better at what you want to do.
All right. So thank you so much,
Yes.
Sanaya. Thank you so much for sharing your input, and I wish you best of luck. And
So
thank you so much,
thank
and
you.
best of luck. And see you soon.
Thank you. Great job with this initiative. I really hope this helps as many people. And good luck with all the others that come up.